14, Hull KR 20 in a classic game of rugby league on Friday night at Headingley Stadium. Let's get into the controversy straight away. It wasn't a great night, was it, for Chris Kendall and the video referee in this one? Let's go through them bit by bit, starting with the Jack Sinfield yellow card. No real arguments with that. It looked pretty sloppy, didn't it? I don't think any Leeds Rhinos fans can be too despondent about Jack going into, going and have a sit down for 10 minutes. I think that was the right decision on the night. But then controversy. And look, the green card to Jake Connor that clearly had a big impact in the 13-on-11. Very simple try for Jack Broadbent on the left edge for the KR. I think that's a shocker. We need to tidy up the green card. By the letter of the law, Chris Kendall, spot on. He didn't call time off. The play, it wasn't a penalty. So he has to say interchange or concussion protocol or a green card. Leeds opted for a green card. In hindsight, could have been a mistake, but it was a clear dislocation of the finger. The referee can see that this is a genuine injury. It's not an attempt by Leeds to slow the game down, which is in the rules of the game. That's what the green card is all about. And as a consequence, yes, Kendall's arms are tied. He's got to give them those three options. Leeds probably selected the wrong option, but for me, there needs to be a change to the green card rule. That if it's a clear injury like a dislocated finger, that the player shouldn't be expected to play on with. He's not time wasted. He's not trying to gain a competitive advantage. It should be allowed to be put back in and the player remain on the field. There you go. I've said it. Broadbent, of course, getting the try, no drama whatsoever. Let's now go to the Jesse Sue red card. Feel for Jesse Sue. For me personally, that one is a yellow. If you actually look at it, Sam Lazzone is dropping tackle height. And actually, for me, there's a genuine attempt to wrap. If you actually look, his arms are moving in a way to wrap. The problem is Lazzone's head is, down by his midriff. And, the problem with these slowed down, and this is why, I have to agree with John Wilkin. In the bunker, those type of decisions, it's very easy when it's slowed down. Is there an intent to do that? No. Watch it in real speed. We're talking not even a split-second decision here. He can't change his tackle. At the end of the day, he's going in. He's committed. There's nothing there. For me, it's a yellow. It's a yellow. It's never a red in a million years. And then we get the Ash Handley one, where he clearly is attempting to wrap. And then, of course, he hits the shoulder, Atamon hits the shoulder of Ash Handley. I would say that if, Jesse Sue gets a yellow, Handley gets a yellow. I think the fact that he sent Sue, he sent Handley. And he created a massive problem for himself, did Chris Kendall in this game. For me, all of them yellows. For me personally, that's my particular opinion on this. I agree with John Wilkin. But for me, the green card needs tidying up. And we also need to look at these incidents in real time, in real speed, because like I say, what are these defenders supposed to do? We're going to be close to tag rugby league, ladies and gentlemen, if this carries on. That's the negatives from this game, but there was so much to admire at Headingley. I mean, Leeds Rhinos, for me, we're seeing a side that is much improved. There was question marks over Leeds Rhinos, question marks over Brad Arthur at the start of the season. And I think actually they're doing really, really well, especially when you consider they've still got Brodie Croft to come back into this team. I think they're playing some really good quality rugby league football at this moment in time. They deserve respect. They have been absolutely sensational. They're only losing games, by the odd score. The Warrington game, this one comes to mind. They're doing really, really well, are the Leeds Rhinos. I mean, their tackle efficiency in this game was 94.2%. I'll say that again, 94.2%. It was a great defensive effort from the Leeds Rhinos. It really, really was. The only real disappointment, perhaps, for Brad Arthur was that they only had 2 play the balls in the 20 metres of Hull KR. That would probably surprise a lot of people. But actually, when they got into that territory, they turned it into points. So perhaps that was a little bit of a problem on the night for him. I think had they had a bit more sustained pressure in the 20-metre line of the Robins, just perhaps, things may have turned out a little bit differently for him. But who is to say? I thought the response try, the Handley try, beautifully executed, beautiful ball from Lockie Miller. I mean, that was outstanding play. It was like a cannon, wasn't it? Boom! Have a little bit of that, it says, to Jake Connor. Little dink through, and Ash Handley beats Petter Hickey to the race for the line. It was a very, very well taken try indeed, that one. And then on the other side of half-time, wonderful, absolutely wonderful. What a try from Riley Lum that was, to break down the left-hand side. I mean, look, you know, there'll be kids out there this weekend. They got swizzles, they got drumsticks, they got loads of stuff in their parcels. The only pasta parcel that was worth watching was this one. And the result, far better than any Parma violence you're going to see, was the finish from Riley Lum. What a try from the Leeds Rhinos. That's why you watch as a neutral. That's why you pay your money to get into Headingley. Take a bow, sir. We salute you. What a try. Beautiful from Riley Lum and Ash Hanley. Great interplay from them. Then Broadbent goes in for his try. I thought the Lewis try was very good as well. Again, we saw some wonderful left edge play from both sides in this game. And of course, Lewis goes in under the sticks. At that point, it's pretty much over. The Bachelor try, yeah, it was well taken. But quite frankly, you know, the game is done and dusted at that point. I think for me, like I say, those negatives in the game, did they play a part? Well, certainly for me, the green card did. No doubt about that whatsoever. I think the two yellows, again, evened out a little bit. I mean, when you consider, you know, when these players were sat down in pretty close proximity to each other, did it have an impact on the game? Probably not. For me personally, this was just two really good sides going toe-to-toe. I think it's almost a barometer, this, isn't it? If you look at the Leeds Rhinos this season, they've beaten Wigan and they've kept KR to 6. And on another day, I think Rhinos win this. I felt sorry for the Leeds Rhinos in this game. I'm sorry, Robins fans, but I did. I felt their effort in this game very, very good indeed. Had that green card not have happened, would the Broadbent try gone in? Possibly not. Does that change the game? Perhaps. I mean, I've got no issue with the Robins winning it. Somebody's got to win it. And I think both teams contested the game very well indeed. But like I say, it's very, very harsh on the Leeds Rhinos, this one. And I'll tell you now, what a game we've got at Magic Weekend between the Rhinos and Saints on Saturday night. Oh, yes, the sherbets will be flowing. And let me tell you now, it will be mega, absolutely mega. Brah, is what I would say to that. Beautiful stuff in this game. Loved it, absolutely loved it. It's what it's all about. A good Headingley crowd, great atmosphere. Yes, we want a little bit of contentious decision, or else we don't have it in the sheds. And some of the tries, oh, yes, Riley Lum, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. One of the tries of the week, without any doubt whatsoever. Right, I know. Right, let's move on. Who are getting the 3 and the 2 and the 1 in this game? Do you know what? There was a lot of candidates, wasn't there? There was a lot of candidates in this game. I'm going to have to give 3 points to Jack Broadbent. Jack Broadbent put out on the wing, you know, back into the side, and he didn't let the Robins down, did he? Took his tries well, and I thought his break as well, the way he executed the Lewis try. I mean, you know, Broadbent, without doubt, you know, he's handing 3 scores. You know, what more can you ask for? What more can you ask for if you're a Robins fan, or dare I say it, for a man of the match performance? So Jack Broadbent, we like Broadbent, we like his versatility. He's a great player. He gets our 3 points. He is the man of the match in this one. I've got to give 2 points to Ash Handley, even though he was sent off. I thought Handley was brilliant, absolutely brilliant in centre. Again, he's growing on me now. We had question marks over Handley in centre. Took his try really well. I mean, don't get me wrong, that was pretty much straightforward. But I thought his interplay with Riley Lum was absolutely outstanding. He was decent in defence all night. He made 165 metres from 19 carries, 3 tackle busts in the game as well. I thought Ash Hanley very deserving of 2 points. And then you've got a real interesting decision. Who are you giving the point to? And there's so many candidates in this. I thought Palacia at loose forward for the Leeds Rhinos, again, had another solid game. He really, really did. I thought he was very, very good. Morgan Gallen also having a good game for the Leeds Rhinos. Lockie Miller, again, we're wrong not to mention Lockie Miller. I thought he also executed the game very, very well indeed. Took his goals, of course, only the one error from Lockie Miller. You move across to the other side, and this is where it really becomes a little bit of a headache for me. You look down the list, and like I say, I'm going to give credit where credit is due to Petter Hiku. I thought Hiku was superb. Great assist in the game. 3 tackle busts from him. 159 metres from runs. Played really, really well on the day. But the one I'm going to give it to, in these type of games, leadership is key. And I thought Elliot Minchella deserves the point. There was times in the game where he was telling these players, just calm down, lads. Just calm down, you know, and that's what you need. You need a steady head. But not just that. I mean, 40 tackles, only 1 missed all game. He doesn't half turn up in D, does Elliot Minchella. So not only does he lead with words, he leads with deeds. Incredible stuff. Absolutely outstanding effort from Elliot Minchella. He carried the ball 14 times for 72 metres. He's got himself 3 tackle busts in the game as well. I thought Minchella was good value. 3 then to Broadbent, 2 to Handley, and 1 to Elliot Minchella. But look, bottom line is, as we end this edition edition of In the Sheds. What a game of rugby league this was. This was a great advertisement for our sport. We were not disappointed on Friday night. For me personally, I slept soundly having seen rugby league fare of this standard. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And actually, looking forward to seeing Leeds in the flesh at Magic Round, because at this moment, I think they're playing some really good rugby league. And if the wind had been blown a little bit differently, maybe they'd be higher up the table. You Rhinos fans, do you know what? Maybe it's time to believe. And as for the Robins, well, you just did what a championship side in waiting perhaps does. You got the job done. Leeds Rhinos 14, the Robins 20, as we all head to see Leeds and the Robins at Magic Round. We'll be back with more in the Sheds later in the day.